on this episode of The Boss Lady.
I started there as an audit training. My salary was 4,000 shillings then. We used to have timesheets which you filled in every 15 minutes. Can you imagine?
Born from Othaya, Nyeri, she makes her way to the board of directors in the country's big companies.
I became a supervisor, I became an audit manager, I became a tax manager, and eventually I became a salaried partner. I realized time is important for real and time is money literally.
On this two-part series, we feature Esther Muchemi.
Hi everybody, my name is Esther Muchemi. I'm the CEO of Samchi Group of company, and this is The Boss Lady.
Born and raised in Kenya, Esther Muchemi is one of the courageous African women who have broken records in the arena of business and investment. She is a tenacious entrepreneur with a record of success in various industries in Kenya's economy. Her entrepreneurship journey started when she quit her 16-year auditing career to open a shop that sold phones, SIM cards, and airtime for Safaricom. She narrates her story to us, but before we go there, here are a few details on the history of accounting. The earliest accounting records date back more than 7,000 years. The people of Mesopotamia created a simple system to record crop and herd growth, and some of their basic ideas provided the fundamentals of accounting as we know it today. Its evolution continued during the period of the Roman Empire. The Deeds of the Divine Augustus is a record of the Roman Emperor's financial dealings. Details were provided on such transactions as distributions to the people, land grants, building projects, money to veterans, religious offerings, and even expenditures for gladiator events and theatrical productions. These records demonstrate the scope of financial information that was made available to the emperor, information that could be used for planning and decision-making. During the early Middle Ages, bartering was the primary means of commercial exchange. In the 13th century, Europe changed to a monetary economy, creating the need for a bookkeeping system. This era saw the first use of double-entry bookkeeping, where debit and credit values were entered for each transaction. With this system, merchants had ready access to their financial information, helping them make plans to grow their businesses as they saw fit. Women accountants date back to the early 20th century. Even though there were few, now they account for more than 50% of accounting graduates entering the profession in the last 20 years. While this is a great indication of how times have certainly changed, the percentage in which women make up the partners in accounting firms nationwide is still quite small, at 19%. Recognizing this type of discrepancy is the AICPA Women's Initiatives Executive Committee, which aids in various activities and programs to help women in the accounting industry succeed. Focusing on higher levels of leadership in their careers and helping organizations engage men and women equally, the WIEC hopes to continue to increase the visibility and advancement of women in the profession and provide credible statistics regarding the issues that impact women in this profession. Before we get into the interview, here are some things you need to know about Esther Muchemi. I walk into her office, and one thing I see for sure is the quality of interior design, the pattern colors, and it felt almost like I was walking into the office of the president. For sure, a president indeed. I look at the wall, a clear indication of her religion hits me. It's very evident the path she walks in. We sit down for a conversation before the interview, and I could tell this was going to be a special episode. Where was Esther born?
I consider myself as a common village girl. Why do I say that? Because I was born in Odaya, in Nyeri. Many years ago, I went to local primary school, Gatiaini Primary School, but I started before I was taken into a boarding school, St. Michael in Kirogoya in Kirinyaga. After that, I did my CP. I went not a very good school then. It was called Kamahuha Girls. I did my Form 1 in that school where we were even carrying water to bathe. After that, my dad transferred me because I was number 1 in that first year. My dad transferred me or made me get a transfer to Kahuhia Girls Secondary School. And that's where I did my 4th form. After my 4th form, note that is a local school somewhere in Muranga district. After that, I did my O level and I went to Mukumu Girls. Mukumu Girls is in Western, somewhere in Kakamega. Remember, I came from Nyeri and went to look for education in Mukumu Girls. And you know the reason? Because that was the only school that was offering the combination I desired to have.
Which was what? Which was what? Because I'm trying to think about it.
Yes, right.
All the way from Odaya.
Yeah.
You traveled all the way to Western.
Yes.
Because of your desires, or rather the courses that were offering. What were these courses?
My courses were literature in English, economics, and geography, and of course the general paper was compulsory for everybody, and then there was ethics, Christian ethics paper. But to get that combination, during our time, it was difficult to get the right combination in a simple way as perhaps we get it today. So the schools that offered the combination, you needed to look for them where you can find them. And for me, the best school that gave me that combination was Mukumu Girls. And that's how I found myself somewhere in Western Kenya.
Wow. And how was that transition? How did you go through any cultural alienation? How was it for you, the common village girl in Nyeri now moving to Western? Just give us a slight highlight on how your life was studying in Western.
I think because of the desire of education and knowing that's the end game for us, I think we adjusted ourselves very quickly to what was significant and was important. What was significant for us then was to get a good education. And interestingly, the school had people from all sorts of backgrounds. My best mate, who is Beatrice, came from Kambalat. So we all met from different cultures, and we met in this common school, and we had no choice but to adjust to each other so that we could be able to live a life that is happy.
All right. Mm-hmm. You've mentioned best maid, and of course we're going to get into that part of marriage, and there's so many things we need to talk about, yeah? And it's very exciting. So, after you finished your 4th form, what next?
Form 4? My 6th form. After 6th form, my university.
Where did you go to university?
I went to the University of Nairobi. I always say when it was a university, because there was nothing as great then. You were celebrated. Just to get to the University of Nairobi, the whole village knew that this village girl has gone to the University of Nairobi. You get what I mean? Then it was an honor university. In fact, Kenyatta University was a constituent of the University of Nairobi. So the university was only one. So we were very few students, but we also had help. The boom, we used to call it the boom. That made a lot of difference for us. Why? Because at that point, our parents could not sponsor our education. Our parents could not cater for our accommodation. We never knew of Nairobi before we came to Nairobi. So I'm always grateful today that the University of Nairobi was able to give me food, was able to give me education, was able to give me a bonus that I was able not only to buy books, but many of us used that bonus to educate our sibling. That's how humble our background was then.
All right. So what course did you do in the university?
In the university, I did Bachelor of Commerce, accounting option. It's good I stress on accounting option because today I ask myself, why did I become an accountant? Because what I'm doing today is not really relevant to accounting. Having said that, I do believe and I do recommend that every business person must take an accounting course one way or the other. So I did accounting option, and you know what? Why did I do accounting? Because accounting was for the bright people. Then marketing and insurance was not the choice of those who considered them bright. Today I know better. Yes, today I know better. Marketing is key in a successful entrepreneur's life. So today I know better. Yes. Yes.
Now, I want us to quickly go through your career. Yes. So you cleared out in the at the University of Nairobi. Yes. So now, how did we end up now seeing Esther Muchemi in bold letters? Now, get me into that journey.
You know what? For me, it's a journey, and I'm really proud of that journey. And I would recommend that people create a journey from themselves. We want to be able to see people who have come from point A to point Z, because I feel it's very frustrating, especially for the young people who have no role models today, who you can look at a person and say, I started here and this is where I am. I always want to put myself in the shoes of young people who are seeing these big people with big houses somewhere, big cars somewhere, but they cannot define the journey. For me, as soon as I finished University of Nairobi, accounting option, that's what I majored in, I was lucky, and I use that luck, the word luck in quote and unquote, because the reason I was able to get there is because I got good marks at the university. I came out with an upper second, and I still believe I would have come out with an upper second, a first class if I really exerted myself. But I came out with an upper second.
Which is really good. Congratulations, by the way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, masomo si rahisi. So ukipita unasema tu.
And then I was taken by one of the 4 large firms, audit firms, Ernst Young, they call themselves today. Then they were called Panel Bell House Mwangi, and I started there as an audit training. My salary was 4,000 shillings then. And I always say that I took that salary with a grateful heart. Why did I take it with a grateful heart? Because there was this company that saw what was good in me, even when nobody else could see good in me. They gave me an opportunity to do what? An opportunity to enter into the marketplace, into employment. And when I got into employment with my 4,000 shillings, which was not enough. People may think that it was enough. It was not enough for my transport, for my house. Thank God I was living with my dad, because then he had come to Nairobi as a manager in Kenchik, and I was able to share his house for a little while, and I consider myself lucky in that sense. But even then, it was never enough for me. But this is what I purposed, and this is what I said, and this is what I promised myself. From the depth of my heart, I told myself, I'm accepting this position of an audit training. I'm accepting this 4,000 that is being given to me. But in 6 months, I'll triple that salary. Why did I have the confidence that I would do it? Because I knew what it takes. And it was very clear. There are 2 things that I needed to do. 1, I needed to pass my CPA exams, because the tradition of an audit firm is if you pass your exams, you automatically move a grade and you get a salary increment. The other thing I knew I needed to do was to work very hard, because it's very demanding to work in an audit firm. Tell you what, in an audit firm, we used to have time sheets which you filled in every 15 minutes. Can you imagine accounting for your 8 hours every 15 minutes? And On the basis of that is what we charged our clients. But I like that because it gave me the discipline that I have today, allowed time. So, oh yes, so where every hour, every minute of my life is accountable. The way I do my day to day, it's all dialyzed, it's all worked out, because from a very early age I realized time is important for real, and time is money literally, because we used to charge our clients based on the time you have put in them. So imagine if you don't charge your hours. What will you tell your boss? What did you do with the hours? And so that's what I was. So I moved from an audit firm, from an audit training, yes. From an audit training, I worked and built my career. From an audit training, I became all those ranks. I became a supervisor, I became an audit manager, I became a tax manager, and eventually I became a salaried partner. And when I became a salaried partner in, yet again, one of the top 5 audit firms, that is PKF, I then started to struggle, because I felt I wanted to be a salaried partner. Right from day one, not a salaried partner, I wanted to be a profit-sharing partner. And even as I was doing whatever I wanted to do, and whatever I did, the assignments I did so well, the exams I passed so well, it's because I knew my end game, I'm not settling for anything less than a profit-sharing partner. But for 3 years, I waited. And I'm asking myself, oh my God, when is this gonna happen? Year number 1, okay, we are there. Nobody is telling me why I'm not getting it. You know, I'm working so hard. I'm investing my time. I'm sacrificing my family time because I want to pursue this goal of becoming a profit-sharing partner. And when I realized I'm not getting it, I thought to myself, one of the things I am made of is I believe in my greatness. Even when I was a young girl, I knew. Somehow I used to say, Esther, you are great. You know,
you had that confidence. Because if you don't tell yourself,
hakuna mtu atakueleza. So even when I went to school, I was pursuing greatness, and my greatness then was defined by being number 1. You know, you get what I mean? Because that's what I understood to be my greatness. When I went to work, I pursued my greatness. My greatness was defined by being a good employee, and I thought I got that. So when this time I realized I'm not getting to my greatness, this is what I told myself. My greatness is about me, and I take full responsibility of who I want to be in life. And on the basis of that, I said, I've had enough of this, where people want to define my greatness, and quit. I did quit.
Yes, she quit. This woman, whose self-belief is the main driving force, narrates to us how she got into accounting and later be one of the few women in the telco industry. All this and more after the break.